On behalf of my colleagues on City Council and the citizens of Thunder Bay, I would like to extend warm greetings to all who have paused today to give thanks and remember. Remembrance Day ceremonies will look a bit different this year at legions, community centers, and schools across the city as the COVID-19 pandemic continues. Each year, residents gather on Remembrance Day to pay tribute to those who have served and died in conflict. But this year, events on November 11th will need to be altered to follow health and safety recommendations. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional territory of the Ojibwe Anishinaabe people of Fort William First Nation and the Métis peoples. The city also acknowledges that Thunder Bay is covered by the Robinson-Superior Treaty of 1850 signed with Fort William First Nation. As we pause on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, we remember the sacrifices of everyone who bravely fought to defend our values and our freedom. Thousands of men and women from Port Arthur, Fort William, Thunder Bay, and the region have served in the armed forces during several conflicts, as well as serving significant roles as United Nations peacekeepers in many countries around the world. The sacrifices made by so many from our community is staggering. In a world where the term hero is thrown around so easily, the sacrifices made by our veterans gives us true insight into who our real heroes are. As a father, I've often thought of how agonizing it must have been to send a child off to war. I can only begin to imagine the pain that is felt by the loved ones of those that we have lost. The poppy we wear in remembrance is another proud part of our city's history. The poppy was adopted as a national symbol of remembrance in Port Arthur. To commemorate this history, Thunder Bay has adopted the title, the City of the Poppy. The story began in 1915 in Flanders Field, Belgium, with Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, Canadian doctor and poet. It was here that he noticed how the blood-red poppies sprang up from the scorched fields of Flanders, as though nature herself bled for the sacrifices of the many who had died there. Drawing upon the symbolism of the flower, he penned his now famous ode to the deceased. In the process, Lieutenant Colonel McCrae immortalized the poppy and its symbolism in his poem. It seemed a natural fit that this symbol should be established as a permanent memorial to the fallen. Mona Michael, an American, is credited in 1918 with the idea of wearing poppies, but it was a French woman, Madame Anna Guerin, who did the most to encourage its wider adoption. In 1921, Madame Guerin went to England, where she presented the poppy idea to officials of the British Legion. She visited Canada later that year, coming to Port Arthur, where the Great War Veterans Association, a forerunner of the Royal Canadian Legion, was hosting a national convention at the Prince Arthur Hotel in July 1921. She presented her idea, and the Great War Veterans Association, now calling her the Poppy Lady of France, readily approved the idea of the poppy as a national emblem. The resolution that it be worn on the anniversary of Armistice Day in memory of fallen comrades was ratified and was later memorialized with a commemorative plaque that hangs in the lobby of the Prince Arthur Hotel. On November 11, 1921, poppies were made by the women and children of France and distributed in Canada for the first time. Within a year, all Legion branches across the country wore the poppy as a symbol of remembrance, a practice which continues to this day. It is a great honor to salute and give thanks to the veterans who are still with us, as well as those who have passed. The sacrifices that they made to protect our Canadian way of life will never be forgotten, and I offer my sincere thanks and respect to all of them and their families for their service to our country. Today, we also remember the veterans from all branches of service and members of the Royal Canadian Legion for their ongoing contributions to our community. Remembrance Day has evolved in that we don't just honor those fallen on the battlefield, but we must also honor the families that paid the sacrifice of losing loved ones. We must remember and support our returning veterans, those who have suffered wounds that have forever altered their lives, and those that live with PTSD. In Thunder Bay, we are all very proud of our military heritage. Many of you continue to serve in a variety of organizations and charitable causes that contribute to a stronger community. So please, accept my thanks on behalf of the entire community. We pause to remember. We pause to give thanks. Let us never forget.